Hey guys, Claire here, and in today's video, we're going to talk about all things Harry and Meghan. In the last video, we focused on day one of the Sussex's trip to Nigeria, and in this video, we're going to focus on day 2 and 3. Now, I don't know about you guys, but it has been such a delight to witness the 3 days that Harry and Meghan has spent in Nigeria. So much happiness, positivity, working with the veterans, having a blast with the children, and fostering relationships through the Archewell and Invictus Foundations. What I loved most about this trip is beyond the surface level things, there are so many interesting relationships being forged. In the last video, we talked about the continued relationship between the Archewell Foundation and the G & Co Foundation, and where they'll continue to provide additional resources to girls and pregnant women. But beyond that, there are so many interesting relationships between a lot of the local Nigerian organizations and the Invictus Foundation and the Archewell Foundation as well. During one of the receptions, we learned about the Nigeria's Unconquered training session, which is a local charitable organization that supports wounded and injured veterans, and that was born from the Invictus movement. Remember, last Invictus Games, that was the first time that Nigeria entered into the Invictus family, so that was nice to see. Also, we found out that Archewell Foundation will support the Giants of Africa. Giants of Africa is an organization that empowers African youth through basketball, education, and mentorship. So this relationship will result in the Giants of Africa being able to expand the programming to include additional adaptive courts and accessible sports for the community. Of course, Harry joined in on the fun. We saw him playing sitting volleyball, see him doing drills with the children. So that was wonderful to see as well. Meghan and the ladies hit it out of the ballpark, her and Dr. Ngozi, as well as the Director General of the World Trade Organization, with Nigerian female leaders. I believe it was about 50 women across Nigerian society, politics, business, media, and culture. And from seeing the videos and photos, it looked like everyone had a really great time and the conversations were very interesting. And beyond that, there was even a 3D tour of the upcoming Nigerian Invictus Center, which is a soon-to-be haven for physical and mental rehabilitation. So, yeah, like I said, it's great to see Harry and Meghan. We love to see them interact. We love to see them interact with each other. They're so good at interacting with the general public at large. But beyond that, there is serious work being done behind the scenes. And that's what I love the most about it. It's not just performative. There's a lot of substance there and a lot of things to look forward to in the future.
Seeing others like me, it gives me more joy. I am not alone in this world. I am Last Corporal Dean Onwunchekwa in Nigeria Army. From when we took off on the boarding till we reached there, it was a hell of an adventure. So I have to make friends, collect numbers. Up to date, we are still chatting. They share their stories, I share my story. It was really great.
And his story and experience with the Invictus Games is what this trip is really all about. How inspiring. But it was also interesting to see Prince Harry meet with a princess. Oh my God, I don't want to butcher her name. In person, I'm gonna insert a photo of them meeting, and he congratulated her on graduating from the Sandhurst Royal Military Academy this past April. So how full circle is that?
Him coming to Nigeria, wow. I'm just feeling I'm on top of the world. I'm meeting him well, because yet I will meet him, and meeting him is fantastic.
Oh God, this is really, it's a very, very important thing, because this makes the Invictus and the wounded soldiers to know that they are being supported and be cared for.
This initiative is very fantastic, because it makes me to understand that yes, I can actually achieve what I couldn't achieve before in my life.
Nigerians have also been very vocal about receiving her, surrounding her after the volleyball game and chanting, quote, "We love you, Nigeria loves you, welcome home."
We thank them for all the effort they are putting to put laughter and smiles in the faces of all the sick and the wounded soldiers. This means a lot to us.
So like I said before, beyond the glamour of the trip, and we do love that, there's so much going on behind the scenes that is far more important and long-lasting.
All this Nigeria tour with Meghan and Harry is showing me is what a mess the royal family have made when it comes to Meghan and Harry. These guys are loved, if not in the UK, but they're loved outside the UK. 3 kings came to visit Meghan and Harry, and they've given her titles. If you look at the photo, she's quite emotional. And if everyone's just clutching their pearls because they stood up for the national anthem, the British national anthem, then you're not getting it. You're not getting how... Now, I don't think the royal family should be existing in today's age. It makes no sense. These elitists, privileged people, kings, queens, princesses is ridiculous in today's age. But if it was going to exist, you need people like this, people like Meghan and Harry, to bring it forward into today's age, make it more personable. If you still want the Commonwealth, if you still want to lord over all these other countries, you need to make it a bit more accessible, you know? So they, you know, like Julia Roberts said, big mistake.
The Emperor, the Conqueror, the Champion, the Lion is here. Not Alua Harry pulling up. Oh, I love every second of this. One of my favorite pastimes in this little life of mine is laughing directly in the face of royalists who just work themselves up into an absolute tizzy over 2 people who are not only so ridiculously head over heels in love with each other, but are quite literally best friends. You sit at home with your 3 cats being like, they're not royals, they'll never be the king and queen. We know they're not royals. They're better. As a Nigerian myself, one of my favorite things about my people is our hospitality. And to see Meghan and Harry so warmly welcomed during their trip to Nigeria has been so heartwarming and so affirming. And it really does cast a really negative shadow back on the British royal family, who didn't even have time to make for a 1 or 2 hour mass while their own son was back in his homeland. One thing this trip has really shown that I've always known, and I think the world has always known, is that Harry was built for this. This is his wheelhouse. He is incredibly good at it, and that is why the late Queen Elizabeth sent him on all these trips. He is a diplomat at the heart of him. He is his mother incarnate. And then for him to meet his counterpart in Meghan, who is equally, if not almost better at doing this than he is, together they're a powerhouse. I'm sorry, it's the little things. She's wearing a white suit, he's wearing a green suit. The flags of Nigeria, green, white, green. Like, hello, they are made for this. Also, as a Nigerian, we do not do anything small. Hello, Ashoebi, through, face, beat, aunties, pulled out the best of the best. I know that's right. These 2 look so relaxed, so happy, and so in their element. And this trip is just a reminder that a lot of the royalist hate you see online is really just an echo chamber for a few people. Internationally, these 2 are loved. He is the son of Princess Diana. Nowhere will he go where he will not be loved. Even the tone of the British media has shifted. They have no choice but to applaud what they are doing because 1, it is for good, and 2, it was Nigeria's Defense HQ who invited them there. They did not send themselves there. This is not them saying that they're royals. They were invited there as dignitaries and as people who are leading change in this world. So even the British media is like, dang, okay, I guess we gotta say something nice about them. Oh my God. But at the end of the day, the real truth is that the British royal family fumbled a huge opportunity with these 2. These 2 had the power, the popularity, and the ability to rehabilitate the British royal family and pull them out of this archaic system that they keep trying to put themselves back into. This was the future of the British royal family, and because infighting, jealousy, and just poor execution by everyone involved, they lost them. And now these 2 are superstars on the international stage, constantly overshadowing the future king and queen.
Also, another interesting tidbit, you guys notice that big hulking bodyguard in the background through many of the photos? Well, he also protected none other than former President Barack Obama. They're not messing around with the security. And not only that, the local Nigerian security provided for Harry and Meghan were top notch. There was even an article where one of the Daily Mail photographers was reprimanded by the security, telling them, hey, back up, or we're going to take that camera and we're going to investigate you, which I wish they did. They were so bitter about it. The article said, even among the multicolored finery on display during a hotel lunch with prominent Nigerians, some of them African royalty, the dress delivered a powerful message. Not that we saw much of it, since she hurriedly left hand in hand with her husband. Stop taking pictures, hissed a Nigerian security official to the Mail's photographer. If you carry on, we will be forced to seize your camera and investigate you. Good. And not only that, I've seen 2 screenshots on social media, specifically on X, of people who have been contacted by the Daily Mail attempting to get permission to use their videos or photos. And not only one of them said no, they said hell no. And somebody else said something a little bit more colorful and referred to the Daily Mail as a rag. Yeah. Someone also shared multiple screenshots from Facebook under the comment section of a post about Harry and Meghan's trip to Nigeria for the Daily Mail, or written or posted by the Daily Mail. And a lot of the people in the comment section were overwhelmingly positive about Harry and Meghan. A lot of them just really tired of the negativity that continues to come from the British press. So the tides are turning. And you know that there is a shift occurring when someone like Tina Brown, a woman who has spent years slacking off of Meghan, has said the quiet parts out loud. Well, I still give major side-eye to her, but I agree with her comments here.
There's tension there. What do you think's going on?
Well, I felt completely different, actually. I mean, after all the trashing of Harry, and there always is this week about, trying to sort of blame him. Actually, when I saw him and Meghan in Nigeria, I had a nostalgia. I felt this is what it could have been. These two who are enormously appealing to the public and who are very good at it. We're out there in Nigeria sort of looking really attractive and being, appealing people. And what a pity it is, they've gone. There is a kind of Harry-shaped hole in the monarchy at this time when they're in such sort of beleaguered circumstances.
Do you think the rift is permanent?
It might be, because things tend to get more and more ossified, like they did with the Windsors. But I think we needed Harry and Meghan, and I think unfortunately what's come to pass with the cancer diagnosis and things shows just how depleted the family is and how much it needs all its stalwarts. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen. I hope it does, mend.
How can that relationship ever mend when Charles and the palace staff continues to play the same old dirty games, essentially proving Harry and Meghan's point and also painting themselves in the palace in a really bad light? You're telling me you are a king. This is the palace. This is the best that the UK has to offer. You are a representative for the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth nations. And this is the sort of behavior that you're engaging in. Because before the Spencers showed up, they were happy to say, oh yeah, we snubbed him. Not only are we not going to show up to support the vets, but we're going to snub you. And we're going to tell our friends in the media so they can write the stories to paint you in a bad light. So while Ingrid is on LBC saying it was very unkind to a 70-year-old man with cancer, why not just stay quiet? Then you have the palace briefing that Charles had a private meeting with David Beckham. So they're essentially saying that Charles is so petty. He cares so little about the veterans because this event was not about Harry. That was a 10-year anniversary event for the Invictus Games. Yes, he founded it. Yes, he's the patron, but it's all about honoring the veterans. All of the veterans who have participated or are part of the Invictus community for the past 10 years. So I don't see that rift ever changing because Charles hasn't changed. Time hasn't changed him, his age hasn't changed him, health scares hasn't changed him, and it certainly hasn't seemed to change William as well. So no, I don't foresee that rift ever changing because they haven't. And also remember, Prince Harry told us point blank in, I believe, the 60-minute interview with Anderson Cooper, he's not going back. And why would he? They have dragged that man, his wife, his children through the mud for years, and they continue to do so. Who in their right mind would want to go back to that sort of environment? No one. That's who. And every single time I see the palace and the press engaged in this sort of focus on trying to punish Harry, to hurt Harry, I am reminded of that throwback interview with Prince Philip, where he essentially said, the most ardent supporters of the monarchy are usually the ones that does it the most damage. And he's 100% right. The head of the monarchy, Charles, his partner, Camilla, their staff, the future heir, his wife and their staff, the relationships with the royal correspondents and experts, and sometimes even their fans who have photos of them in their social media platforms. While they're so busy, hyper-focused on Harry and Meghan, hyper-focused on attacking them in every organization that they work with, every charity that they work with, every country that they visit, it does nothing but paint the monarchy in a bad light. Can't convince me otherwise. Just this week alone, we've seen royal reporters in their focus to paint Harry and Meghan's trip in a negative light, talking about the crime statistics in Nigeria and trying to paint it as an inhospitable place to visit. And I've seen so many Nigerians on social media who are insulted, and rightfully so.
There's this narrative going on about Nigeria that always paints Nigeria as a war-torn country, as the most corrupt country, as a place where foreigners should never visit, which is very alarming. Now listen to this.
Nigeria is actually the 12th most dangerous country in the world, and the military base that Harry travelled to is somewhere that the Foreign Office is actually advising against visiting.
Anything could happen, but remembering as well that not just that, the security and everything that they're providing is being paid for, so that's another controversy, because I think at least three quarters of the country are in poverty.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that there's no kidnapping, it's just how it is being magnified. For someone who has never visited Nigeria, that person would think once he lands here, the first thing that will happen is he or she is going to be kidnapped or die, which is not totally true. Stop painting Nigeria totally black. We have our own issues, yes, and we're praying and hoping and working towards coping all of these things. What this narrative does is it plants fear in the hearts of everyone who may even want to visit Nigeria, or for whoever it is that is already in Nigeria to be afraid, to be frightful, and they don't even get to even enjoy their vacation or whatever it is that they came to do here. In a nutshell, Nigeria is an open place for everyone who wants to come in. And as you can see, with the case of Prince Harry and Meghan and even other people who visited, they came here, they were safe, and they left. It's just, you don't come and then you're going to places you don't know. You definitely have a guide. So please share this video. The whole world needs to know Nigeria is not a dead zone. They can visit and go back safely.
And that they did. It was so wonderful to see all of the Nigerian squaddies showing up and showing support, seeing all the aunties showing Meghan so much love. You'll see them surrounding her, hugging her, giving her words of love and warmth and encouragement. It was really wonderful to see. Even more wonderful to see Meghan reciprocate and sometimes look a little tearful and emotional by the amount of love that she's been shown, not just her, but her and Harry. Sometimes when they're being serenaded or when she's interacting with a lot of the aunties, you can just see it on her face. She felt so loved and seemed to feel at home. She looked absolutely stunning. All of the looks were beautiful. The makeup was beautiful. 10s across the board, and according to her usual makeup artist Daniel, she did all of her styling and makeup herself without the aid of anyone else's contacts. And thank God for that. I don't know if I can pick, oh no, That's a lie. I can pick my favorite look. The favorite look is the yellow dress, the Carolina Herrera dress. And incidentally, Wes Gordon of Carolina Herrera posted about Meghan in that beautiful yellow gown on his Instagram. And of course, Wes knows Meghan from her Suits days, so there's that full circle moment there. We have seen that yellow dress before. We never got to see it in its entirety. And when she walks, that's when the beauty of the dress really shines through. It looks like she's just gliding as she walks about. And with the addition of that beautiful green cloth, oh my God, chef's kiss. Undeniably my favorite look of the entire trip. What do you guys think? Did you have a favorite look? That red dress was absolutely stunning. And I'm so happy that the aunties encouraged her to bring out those pops of color. I mean, she brought the dress with her, so it's likely that she was planning to add a little bit of color, but I'm happy that they did that. That red dress was beautiful. And not only is it stunning, it's from a Nigerian designer, and it caused quite a stir, resulting in the website being down because of a rush of people visiting the website. Sort of reminds me of when Drake Crew's website went down when Meghan wore that sweater for the Invictus Games. So the Meghan effect is real.
And just so we're clear, this right here is exactly why the British royal family, British media, and the British public hate Meghan Markle. It's not about who she is, it's about who she represents. It's about who she allows to feel seen. The British royal family exists for one reason and one reason only, and that is to uphold white supremacy. So when you think of kings and queens and royals and rulers of the world, this is what you see. Pale, stale, male, sausage-fingered fool who can't even unite his own family, but is somehow supposed to unite an entire nation and an entire commonwealth. Okay. See, when this went down, this is when the panic really set in. They really started to see what was happening here. So while we, people of the world with good sense, saw Meghan as an asset to the royal family, they actually saw her as a threat because you see, the people she's surrounded by, yeah, they're meant to be ruled by the monarchy, not represented by it. You see this right here? This is way too much for British people to handle. They do not want to see Nigerians or black people of any kind being treated with respect, as equals, being honored and deferred to by their royals, people that they bow down to. And you're treating black people as equals? Oh, no. And you may be saying to yourself, Meghan isn't even really black. She's only half black. She's light, bright, and damn near white. That's your own ignorance because Meghan has never hidden who she is. She has never shied away from it, never tried to hide it, never once denied it, and even doubled down every chance she could. She might not be black enough for you, but she certainly wasn't white enough for them.
But all in all, it was such a wonderful trip. I loved seeing Harry and Meghan. I love the work that they do, and I'm looking forward to seeing them come out and just do a lot more.
Yes, it's true. The three kings have granted Meghan Markle lands and titles. She is a highborn lady, after all. Now it seems all the lowborns are very angry and headed over to Crumpet Island. Yes, so they can cool off, I'm sure. By the way, a word of advice. When you get your new doggy, please give him a name like Charles or William. Seems to be more fitting. Yes. Thank you so much for calling. If you have any more questions, we'll be here until 4. Have a day.